No one had ever asked me the question, right? And I had never asked the question, but I always wondered about it.
We have children that are growing up without their fathers in the home, and that is being incentivized by the government right now via the welfare system.
Tupac Shakur, the late rapper, once said, "I know for a fact that had I had a father, I'd have some discipline, I'd have more confidence." He admitted he began running with gangs because he wanted the things a father gives to a child.
How often is that black father or father in general reaching out, trying to get access to his kids, and because you're dealing with an ex-wife, girlfriend, mother of your child, fiance, who's now bitter and hostile and angry, who's going above and beyond to use that resentment to block access from the father getting to the child.
And this is not the black woman's problem, I want to be clear. This was systematically done to make us irrelevant to our families.
You need a man to teach you how to be a man.
So the absent or deadbeat black father myth that many in America believe is really more like a lie.
There's a stereotype that African-American dads are not in the home, and that it's almost expected for them to not be in the home. Conversations with African-American children, they ask them, is your dad in the home? Almost like it's a shock if they are there. Like, it's just shock if, like, oh, your dad's in the home, or oh, you have two parents. So I think that's just the tone of society. Is just that we're not around and we're absent.
When I hear that now, I don't feel like it affects me really, because I see fathers nowadays walking down the streets everywhere I go. So I believe that that's like not a thing anymore.
The stereotype. I grew up in an era where there was a common saying, either selling crack rock or you got a wicked jump shot. And I think that stereotype we've now tried to curtail to where that's not the only options anymore.
And as we all know, the stigma of fathers not being in the children's lives and stuff, I didn't have my father in my life. So I made a promise to myself, if I was to ever date a woman who had kids, that I would not let that stigma go, because you build a bond,
Just because the father is not in the household does not mean that he's an absentee father. Just because he's there not financially does not mean he is an absentee father.
This generation now, there are more fathers around. Growing up, I didn't have my father around. So I felt like that made me dedicated to making sure that I was there for every moment for my 5 kids.
Does the stereotype have some substance? A little bit. Some of us choose, we all have choices in life. Some of us choose to fit the mold, but then we have a lot of us, such as the gentleman that'll be on this film, that we don't believe in that. We are chasing a different goal, and we're changing the stereotype through us, through our children, and hopefully our grandchildren.
Fight the power.